This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, July 3rd, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an earthquake swarm in the Cascadia subduction zone area on the Pacific and Juan de Fuca plates. We'll zoom in. There's been a total of 6 earthquakes in this area. The USGS is reporting 4 of them. They've got a 4.3, a 4.5, a 4.4 with a tsunami warning. We will check the buoys. A 4.0, and then just off the Juan de Fuca plate here on the Pacific plate, a 4.7. Now there is an additional earthquake in play that we will go over. Many may be asking, what is the Cascadia subduction zone? Well, this is a situation where we have a plate called the Juan de Fuca plate is being pushed by the Pacific plate under the North American plate. And as it does so, it forces magma to the top of the Cascadia volcanic range. These are mountains like Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Hood, Mount Adams, etc. And as the movement pushes the plate, the Juan de Fuca plate, further under the North American plate, the magma is forced to the surface, causing eventually volcanic eruptions. Now, according to volcanosandearthquakes.com, we've had a total of 6 of these quakes. We've had a 4.3 an hour ago. We've had a 4.5 an hour ago. We've had a 4.0 20 minutes ago. Just came in. A 4.1 an hour ago. A 4.6 31 minutes ago. And this is definitely, well, part of whatever's going on there. And we just showed you what's going on there. The Juan de Fuca plate is being pushed under the North American plate. We have a 4.7 out here. Now we're going to go over the details of some of these quakes. Start out with the magnitude 4.7 earthquake just off the Vancouver Island coast. This one was the one on the Pacific plate, still associated with Cascadia subduction zone, still part of the swarm that we're talking about here. This happened 1 hour and 49 minutes ago. It was a 4.7 magnitude earthquake. These quakes are not necessarily huge, but they are swarming for a reason. We must be seeing plate movement. The 4.7 at a default depth of 10 kilometers. And our main primary source is the USGS. Like 169 tons of TNT was released by this. Again, this is the 4.7 on the Pacific plate, just to the west of the other 5 earthquakes that have gone off. Let's take a look at this. The USGS, a 4.7 default, 10 kilometer depth. If you see here, 10 kilometer depth off. That means the depth of the quake cannot be determined with sufficient accuracy. We've got the Europeans coming in at a 4.7, the Germans at a 4.8, the Italians at a 4.7, and that's it. That's the 4.7 magnitude earthquake according to the USGS. 4.8 according to Germany, all at a default depth. Now we're not going to go over the 2 4.1 earthquakes on the Juan de Fuca plate, but this is the next one we are going to go over that did occur in that small swarm area on the Juan de Fuca plate, a magnitude 4.6 earthquake. And this was about 1 hour and 41 minutes ago. Here we have a 4.6. Our primary source is Germany. So we have to be careful about this one. See if other people reported it. 120 tons of TNT were actually released by this explosion at a depth of, well, 10 kilometers, which is the default depth. So this is the one quake the USGS is not covering. This is the 4.6 magnitude quake. Came in at the same exact time, 2025. Germany reported it, and the European Seismic Center reported it as a 4.6 at a default depth of 10 kilometers. The USGS did not chime in yet on this quake. Remember, 2025 GMT time. Here we have a magnitude 4.5 earthquake on the Juan de Fuca plate as well, off the coast of British Columbia, Canada, about an hour and 44 minutes ago. Looking at the earthquake details of 4.5, 10 kilometers of depth, default. USGS is our main reporting source here, and about 84.8 tons of TNT released with this earthquake. Again, we have very few people reporting this earthquake, a 4.5 USGS, default depth 10 kilometers, 2021, totally different time. The EMS reported it at a 4.5, default depth 10 kilometers, and the International Research Institute on Seismology coming in at a 4.5, default depth 10 kilometers. Next, we have a magnitude 4.3 earthquake, another, well, moderate earthquake off the coast of British Columbia, and this was an hour and 47 minutes ago. Here we see it was a 4.3 confirmed, 10 kilometers of depth, main primary source, USGS. Endeavour Ridge is the nearest volcano to all of these thus far, except for the one in the Pacific plate. 42.5 tons of TNT were released. Checking the National Data Buoy Center, we don't see any tsunami buoys in event mode off the coast of Canada or California, Oregon, or Washington. So everything looks good as far as tsunamis, even though we had a tsunami warning with one of the quakes. Now, to summarize, the USGS is reporting a quake swarm of 5 4.0 or larger earthquakes, whereas we have a 4.6 being reported by both the European Seismic Center and Germany on the Juan de Fuca plate. So 5 total here in the swarm, 6 on the other map. You can see the Juan de Fuca plate right here. It's being forced under the North American plate. It starts right here. This is the North American plate boundary. And this over here, of course, is the Pacific plate. Now, I'm not quite sure why this 4.6 is not being reported, but it is being reported again by the Germans and the European Seismic Center. And it looks like a legitimate quake to me. We definitely have an earthquake swarm on the Cascadia subduction zone. Let's hope that that doesn't mean that we're going to have any activity from any of the volcanoes on the Cascadia range, like glaciers, like Mount Rainier, like Mount St. Helens, like Mount Adams, like Mount Hood, etc., etc. With that said, God bless you and yours. Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.